Hey, friend, certified meteorologist Jonathan Kegges back with you. Right off the bat, I want to apologize for my voice. It's still not back to 100% after a cold I had last week, but I wanted to hop on here and give you an update to a really ugly situation potentially unfolding for April 4th, April 3rd. If you're on the blizzard side of this, we're going to talk about the severe weather side first and then the blizzard side and talk about how much snow is coming with that. Going to get right into it because I don't know if my voice is going to make it to the end of this video. We're going to find out. Anyway, moderate risk back at it here from the Storm Prediction Center. It certainly looks like the biggest tornado outbreak potential with this system is going to be on the northern end here, where this moderate risk is into eastern Iowa, certainly north central Illinois, and then right into extreme northeast Missouri. Still could have a couple of long track supercells in this area and the enhanced area from northeast Texas into most of Arkansas and then to southern Missouri. But I do think, as you'll see in future radar in just 1 second, that this is quickly going to get into a line and become a little more linear, limiting the long track supercell threat anyway. So we're going to break all of that down coming up in just 1 minute. I first want to show you here where our system is, some of the upper level dynamics. We're going to go looking upstairs about 15 to 20,000 feet above our head. This is the water vapor imagery. And you see this dip out in the jet stream here, this black area. The air is really, really dry here. This is our upper low that is going to eject out of the four corners and then head into this direction, bringing big time blizzard conditions to parts of southern North Dakota, a lot of South Dakota, and then into Nebraska. And then again, that severe weather threat pretty much all down in that area. So we are going to get all into that in just 1 second. We're going to the upper Midwest first. This is going to be the first part of the severe weather side of the system. Then I'm going to take it back down into the deep south area, talk about our severe weather side of this. And then we're going to get to the snow side, which you can already see here as we have the upper Midwest sector on. So here is our developing surface low right here. Here is our warm front kind of kinked out over parts of north central Illinois and then into Iowa right about there. And then it's right here where we're going to look for some initiation of those supercell thunderstorms. So this is going to be at about 4 or 5 o'clock Central Time on April 4th. We're going to take this out. Note we have a little cluster popping up. Okay, so here we go. We're going to watch this right in the nose here of Iowa and then into western Illinois. That's where the high resolution future radar kind of initiates that first round of convection. As we take this a little further out, we see we get a couple of mature supercells. Now, again, the model cannot predict where exactly these supercells are going to develop, but we do have a pretty good idea that in this area, the environment is going to be conducive to a couple of long track supercells right along that warm front. So I want to take you further out and watch what happens here. Those kind of drift into southern Wisconsin. Now, this particular model is not very bullish on the northeast Arkansas side. There are some limiting factors here. The biggest limiting factor to get widespread and a big tornado outbreak, and again, even without an outbreak, we can still have a few strong tornadoes and a few strong supercells. There's not a lot of moisture lifting up from the Gulf of Mexico. We really need that for these supercells to kind of feed off of. So we do have a few limiting factors here. But as you clearly see here, I want to give you the heads up because we can still generate, even with those limiting factors, a couple of very nasty supercells, again, in this general area from northeast Missouri towards the Chicago area and then into extreme southern Wisconsin. So again, pay very close attention. Make sure that you have a way to get your warnings on April 4th, especially late in the afternoon on Tuesday and into the evening on Tuesday as well. We're going to get into the snow side in just a little bit. First, though, I want to take you to the southern end, which likely will get a later start than for us in the upper Midwest. So here we go. As we take us further, this is going to be 9 o'clock Central Time. And you see a little bit going on here. And it's going to be early on in this event for us in the Southern Plains and Deep South that we're going to have the opportunity to get these storms discrete. I'm going to show you in a little bit. These quickly congeal. But here we go with a few discrete cells south of St. Louis. And then a few little isolated guys in this area. The future radar not picking up a ton of activity just yet. And then watch what happens as we get towards 1 o'clock in the morning. This is going to be on April 5th now. We do get a line of thunderstorms. And I don't want to say it's good that it's in a line, but in an environment that can support a few long track supercells. And certainly that is going to be possible on the evening of April 4th, Tuesday evening. when they get in a line like this, it kind of limits the severe weather potential in terms of long track tornadoes. Certainly, this is going to be concerning for some damaging wind right in here early now, Wednesday, April 5th. And you kind of see that materialize here. And we're going to be looking at embedded tornadoes into Arkansas. This is now going to be at 8 o'clock in the morning Eastern, 7 o'clock Central for parts of Arkansas. So if you're watching from northwest Arkansas, per se, let's back this up. We could be looking at a few nasty thunderstorms starting to slice through at about 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock, post midnight time frame in the pre-dawn hour. So again, make sure you have a way to get your warnings. And then that line kind of ramps up a little bit as we move into the early stages of Wednesday morning. If you're finding this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Also, hurricane season is right around the corner. To stay up to date as well on all things tropical weather and all things weather, please hit that subscribe button. That would be awesome to have you in this weather community. And thank you guys a ton for your support as we've started this channel and pushed forward. All right, I can feel the voice starting to go. So we are losing it right now, but I promised the snowy side. Here we go. Here is our big area of low pressure. It's kind of ejecting out of the plains, out of the desert southwest. That center of low pressure going to move up through the panhandle of Nebraska. That puts us in the sweet spot in parts of South Dakota and North Dakota. Again, you want to be northwest of the low. So right in there, that is a bullseye. Got to change my color here on my telestration because make it black. How about that? We'll go black because every other color, the pink and blue that I normally use, that's the precip types we're dealing with. Anyway, sorry for that tangent. Low pressure going to drift up in this direction. We're going to take this further out. Now, this is going to be at 12Z on April 4th. That is going to be 8 a.m. Eastern. That is going to be 7 o'clock in the morning Central, 6 o'clock in the morning Mountain Time. As we go further into your morning and afternoon on Tuesday, April 4th. Now, this is going to be in the late afternoon, early evening on Tuesday, April 4th. Look at all the snow. Big band or big shield of heavy snow in parts of northwest Nebraska, into South Dakota, into North Dakota, and then northern Minnesota. We miss out in the Twin Cities on any kind of good snow. Same in southern Minnesota, same in northern Iowa. Again, we're going to be dealing with the severe weather side, but it's just going to be a cold, ugly rain in southern Minnesota. And then we have icing concerns north of the Twin Cities, closer to St. Cloud as well. When I just take you out to the extension of this model, and this is going to be now at 7 o'clock in the morning Central Time on Wednesday, April 5th. And you see what we have going on here. This is pretty much coming down to an end, but we do have some rain moving towards Toronto. We have that line of thunderstorms continuing to push east. And again, some of these down here could be on the strong side. So we're going to be watching that closely. And we still have some light snow going on, light to moderate snow going on toward International Falls as well. So again, just keep that in mind that we're going to be dealing with some snow here until Wednesday morning. I want to share the snowfall totals. Again, this is crazy here. We've got a long duration here. We got a lot going on, a lot of people impacted here. That's why I wanted to hop on. So I forgot to mention about the blizzard part of this. Again, we're going to have the snow. That's a given. We're going to also have the wind, and we're going to have the best blizzard potential here, kind of right in Blizzard Alley. We have blizzard warnings up in northern Nebraska all the way up into North Dakota here. So not only are we going to have crazy amounts of snow, especially in South Dakota, we're going to have 40, 50 mile per hour wind gusts on top of that, maybe even more, especially in the open plain there. But you see here, in terms of the amount of snow, we'll start north to south. International Falls, a good 8 to 16 inches of snow is going to be possible. As we get towards Fargo, a good 6 to 12. You see there, the model wants 8 inches. Towards Pierre, South Dakota, we're getting closer to the main event. That's going to put us in double-digit snowfall totals. The model wants more than a foot, and that's certainly going to be possible there. If I was putting together as a forecast myself, I'd be more in that 8 to 14 range. Right into Pierre, because we're going to have maybe some mixed concerns getting into this part of South Dakota as well. You see right to the Black Hills that wants 2 feet of snow. That might be a little bullish, but we're going to get more than a foot of snow here. And really, I would put 12 to 24 inches of snow all the way back into Casper, Wyoming, into parts of central Wyoming as well, especially in the higher elevations. But west of Pierre, in the extreme northwest panhandle of Nebraska, eastern Wyoming, and then western South Dakota. That is going to be our best shot for that foot to 2 feet of snow, in the addition of some pretty gusty winds on top of that. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Again, I apologize that I sound ugly right now. I may always sound ugly, but uglier than normal. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm hoping to be able to go live on Tuesday for the severe weather side and for the snow side of this. If my voice is not back to 100%, though, I won't be able to go live. I don't feel comfortable giving potentially life saving information when my voice is not 100% because I want to be clear in that nature. So, again, I take high responsibility when it comes to that stuff, and I do not want to be giving information where my voice is cutting in and out. That if someone is watching from those areas, could potentially use that information to take cover. So, again, I want to be clear. I'm going to try my best to get on here Tuesday. I miss you guys. I wish I didn't have to get live because we're talking about another round of severe weather. I'm rambling now. My voice is almost gone. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you a ton for your support. If I don't see you Tuesday, I'll catch you down the road sometime later this week once the voice gets back to 100%. And again, join us for the new weather show. That's every Saturday at 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 Central. We'll talk for about a half an hour on anything weather. Post in the comments where you're watching from. We'll catch you next time.